What is going on, everybody, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Bailey Kramer, and you are watching another video in my completely free course here on YouTube, all about mastering mid-term rentals. This video specifically, we're going to be talking all about pricing strategy, and more specifically, and even better, minimum night stay settings that you need for your property. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump in. What you're seeing here is Price Labs. Now, it's a software that I use. You can use whatever software you want. You don't even have to use Price Labs. I don't really care. If it were up to me, I like Price Labs. It makes it so easy. I'm going to show you what I do, and you can make the choice for yourself. So what people often get wrong about pricing strategy for midterm rentals is they worry too much about the price and not enough about the minimum night stay setting. For example, let's just say we have a short-term rental, right? And we're booked out this weekend, next weekend, next month, next weekend, right? We're booked out a bunch of weekends in a row. What happens then is if an insurance company or a travel nurse says, hey, I want to rent your property starting next week for 3 months and pay you top dollar, you have to say, unfortunately, we're booked. We can't take that. But in reality, you might only be booked for a couple of weekends when that's a complete waste. And you're going to make way more money by booking it as a midterm rental. So what you need to make sure you do is have your calendar set up properly so that you optimize for getting a midterm rental booking, but you also set yourself up to get these nice short-term rental bookings. And in this video, I'm going to show you exactly how. So what I'm going to do here is scroll down to customizations and press on edit. And what I'm about to show you is, I would say 80% of the most important stuff about midterm rental bookings. It's about your minimum night stay settings. So this is not something to overlook. This is one of the most important things you need to do. So I'll show you this right here. So my default minimum night stay rules is 28 nights. So that essentially means that right up front, my property can only be booked for 28 nights. And now there's some nuances to it, so hang on with me, but that's what it means. So 28 nights, that's my minimum. I'm going to come back to orphan gaps here in a second because it gets a little confusing. And then let's go to last minute bookings. So I mentioned to you, hey, 28 nights, that's my minimum, but I will make exceptions. And this is where we optimize for the short-term rentals and the midterm rentals. So if someone wants to book my property for only 2 nights, okay, so if they want to just reserve 2 nights on my calendar, they can, but only if they book within 7 nights. So if today is Sunday and they want to book for next Sunday, sure, they can book for 2 nights. But if they want to book 3 weeks out for 2 nights, that's not happening. It will not even show up on the platforms. Okay, so if they want to book for 3 nights, then they must do 14 nights in advance. Okay, so 14 nights, within 14 nights, that's when I have the 3-night minimum. And if they're booking up to 21 days out, then it needs to be 4 nights. Okay, if they're not booking for 4 nights, they're not booking my property. All right. This right here, this last minute bookings, this ensures that my property is still available for shorter stays while also not jeopardizing myself from getting big midterm rental bookings. Okay. So that's what this last minute booking is all about. And I'll show you this in the calendar too, so it makes more sense. But that's what this is all about. The far out bookings. So if someone wants to book my property 90 days in advance, that's 3 months in advance, I want them staying for a minimum of 90 days. Okay. Minimum of 90 days. I don't want somebody to book my property 90 days in advance for just 28 nights, because then again, I can't get big 3, 6, 9-month booking. So that's why I have this 90-day setting for far out bookings. Okay. And then let's go back to orphan gaps, because this is really important. This is potentially hundreds, if not thousands of dollars per property that you're leaving on the table if you don't have this set up. So an orphan gap is the simplest way to explain it is, let's just say you have a 4-week booking here, then you have a 7-night gap, and then you have another, let's say a 3-month booking here. That gap in between the bookings is called an orphan day gap. Okay. Orphan gap. And we want to make sure that we're still able to get bookings during that time, even if it's outside of these rules here. Okay. So just to break this down, for an orphan day gap, so those awkward gaps in between bookings, I have a 2-night minimum if the gap is between 2 nights and 14 nights. Okay. 2 nights and 14 nights, then they can book for just 2 nights. If the gap is between 15 and 18 days long, then there's a 3-night. Okay. So this again ensures that I am maximizing the gaps I'm allowing myself to get bookings, but I'm not being too strict to where I'm not able to get anything. Okay, so that is my Orphan night gap settings. If I take you to my calendar here, you're going to see basically all the rules play out like I just showed you. So right here on the top left, you might have to zoom in a little bit, but you can see it says 2, 2, 2, 2, 2. Okay, so those are 2 nights. So since I am booked out starting the 8th, yeah, I'm booked out for, I think, 6 months on this one. So I'm booked out way far in advance. Like I'm way booked, but I had a gap, okay, right here that I want to fill. So I have basically a 2-night minimum up until here, and then I have a 3-night minimum, basically a week out over here. So in this case, I'm ensuring that I'm getting the longest booking possible to maximize my revenue. Now, if I go into February, you're still going to see that this is all grayed out because I'm booked, but let's just say I wasn't booked for whatever reason. You'll see here that it turns into a 28-night minimum. Okay, 28-night minimum, 28-night minimum. Okay, and that goes all the way until April 21st. Okay, so this is 90 nights out. I want at least a 90-night stay, optimize my revenue. Now, luckily, again, these rules aren't actually going to be coming into place because I'm already booked out 6 months in advance. But this is just an example to show you how these rules that I'm showing you that I set up actually play out on my calendar. One other thing to note is that I am adjusting my prices and my minimum night stay settings on a weekly basis. Okay. So in this case right now, for example, I might lower my minimum night stay to just 2 nights here instead of 3, because right now I don't have any bookings. And the window is also fairly short. And again, that's why I check it every week, is because I can make adjustments. These rules I set are not set it and forget it and never look at it again. You should always and constantly be updating and tweaking your rules. But what I've showed you is what I use as my baseline, and you can use the same baseline, but make sure you're still checking your calendar every week to make sure that you're up to date and you're staying on top of all of your bookings. I hope you guys got a ton of value out of this video. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comment section below. And if you know someone that would get value out of this video, feel free to send it their way. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.